Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to today's Crypto Blast. It is Wednesday, the 30th of July, all day. You join myself and Cam from Institutional Fi, where Cam will be giving us the ultimate rapid fire update on crypto markets, including flows, news, and anything related to what's moving the markets, really. But before he does get underway, I will get the legals done. Nothing discussed on this space in session constitute trading or investment advice or confers any kind of endorsement by PIQ, Institutional Fi, myself, Ryan Paisley, or indeed Cam. Cam, how are you, my love?
Good morning. Oh, well, thank you very much, Ryan. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you, very well. I'm having a very productive day I was going to say for once, but in case investors are listening, every day is a productive day. But yeah, interested to hear from you what's going on in the markets. Bitcoin still above $100,000, still above $110,000. The only way is up, baby.
Still above $100.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely. Let's jump straight into it. Yeah. Hello to everybody listening live and the many of you that listen on the recording. So we'll just start off with the crypto market update. So starting with the big dog, Bitcoin has experienced a modest decline so far this week, continuing a correction phase with some weakening momentum. As of today, which is the 30th of July, the price is approximately $118,305, a decrease of about 1.1% week to date. Very, very modest indeed. BTC is consolidating between $116,000 and $120,000 with key support noted at around $114,790. Whilst resistance sits firmly at $120,899, looking at a decisive close above $116 may indicate further declines are ahead. But if we look over to technical indicators such as the RSI for the week, it's sitting around 63.5, which indicates a neutral condition. And Bitcoin remains above all significant exponential moving averages. That's the 20, the 50, the 100 and the 200-day EMAs, indicating overall technical strength despite the short-term pullback that Bitcoin has experienced since reaching all-time highs of $123,000. The bears will tell you that Bitcoin's price is breaking down, but the bulls are going to tell you that this is a healthy consolidation before the next leg up. One thing is for certain, corporations are continuing to accumulate Bitcoin, and we're going to touch on more of that in a moment.
I don't think anyone can say that the price is breaking down. I think it depends on what exchange you're looking at, but I'm looking at it at markets.com in front of me just because that's what the PIQ chart's got. It's like $117,500. That's still pretty much within. So I'll start again. Use your words, Ryan. It's within yesterday's range according to my chart. It's definitely within the past week or so's range. No bear can claim that this is kind of deteriorating because it's not. It's very much consolidationary period. And we have been since what? Since like second week of July. It's basically traded sideways.
Exactly.
I think what do you take away from this? Well, the bears have got no argument because it's not exactly breaking lower. Yes, okay, it's not breaking higher. So what have the bulls got to say? But I think what the bulls can argue is that, basically the path of least resistance feels like it's higher. It needs to do a lot of work to come off. Because in the past when we have sold off, it's been, any weakness has been bought straight back into. So really keen to see where we go in the next couple of weeks because surely it can't keep going sideways.
Well, yeah, exactly that. Bears are reaching very, very high. It used to be a 10%, volatile move, and they'll be like, oh, look, BTC's breaking down now. They're reaching for a 1.1% move lower. And they're saying, oh, the time is now. Well, come on. We're in a dip buying territory at the moment of, these institutions continuing to accumulate lots of Bitcoin. And that has been driving the market higher. So yeah, like you, Ryan, I am looking forward to see what the weeks to come happen, because technically if you're looking at the daily, you could probably paint cause for a bull flag moving higher, which obviously in the current market trend indicates that the price could potentially be going higher. So there we go. Ethereum has seen a notable rally this week, mirroring strong sentiment from institutional flows and ETF driven momentum. The ETH is currently trading at around $3,801, up slightly from the week, holding above the $3,800 resistance zone just. ETH has consolidated between $3,700 and $3,900 for most of the week. Major support lines at $3,600, which will be the breakout retest area, with resistance at the psychological level of $4,000. ETH trades above its 100 and 200-day exponential moving averages, confirming a bullish structure. If we look at the RSI, so far on the weekly basis, it's sat between 82 and 87, which indicates overbought conditions. But keep in mind, the strong uptrend can keep RSI high for extended periods during market rallies. Short-term outlook sees growing institutional and futures market open interest rate reach $7.8 billion. And whilst Ethereum spot ETF inflows remain positive, a notable drop in purchases can be seen so far this week compared to last week. So this could cause a little slowdown for the spot volume in the markets that we see. If we look at the Bitcoin ETF flows, for yesterday, they saw $79.9 million flow in, and Ethereum outpacing Bitcoin yet again with net inflows reaching $219 million yesterday. So yes, they're still incredibly high for Ethereum, but this time last week we're seeing $400 million, $500 million flow in on a net basis each day. So it's 50% of the volume there. If we look down the market cap list, XRP is trading at $3.10. BNB is trading at $799. Solana at $179. $20 away from that $200 psychological level that we talked about just last week. If we move on to the news, SharpLink buys 77,210 ETH for around $290 million last week, bringing its total holdings over 438,000 ETH. Massive pile of ETH there for SharpLink. Grab, the largest ride-hauling app in South Asia, announced that users in the Philippines can now add cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, ETH, USDC, and USDT into their Grab wallets. This feature was first introduced last year in Singapore. As an update to BTCS Incorporated, they announced that it has increased their ETH holdings by 14,240 ETH, bringing its total holdings to an excess of 70,000 ETH, valued at approximately $270 million, based upon an ETH price of $3,850. BTCS has raised $207 million this year through its DeFi and TradFi flywheel strategy and completed a $10 million convertible note financing agreement. Mara Holdings has completed a $950 million convertible note offering due in 2032 with 0% interest. Net proceeds of around $940 million will be used to buy Bitcoin, repay debt, and fund corporate growth. The notes are convertible at $20.26 a share, with a capped call protection at $24.14 to reduce dilution. CEA Industries and 10x Capital, with the support of YZI Labs, announced a $500 million private placement, including $100 million in crypto, to establish the world's largest publicly listed BNB-focused treasury company. The deal, set to close by end of tomorrow, could reach $1.2 billion with warrant exercises. Over 140 institutions have joined this, including Pantera, GSR, Dow5, and Arrington. A name that I'm sure all the listeners will be familiar with, PayPal has launched a Pay with Crypto, enabling US merchants to accept over 100 cryptocurrencies, including all the top 20, with near instant conversion to fiat or stablecoins with a competitive 0.9% transaction fee. Still quite high on the transaction fee, but again, it's competitive what's on the market at the moment.
I'll tell you what I like about this, and again, it's not the first time we've discussed this, is about all going towards that reducing the barriers to entry for the use of crypto and stable coins. And you'll be really proud of me today, Cam. Earlier on this morning, I had a very good meeting with someone that might be coming on board, like potential tech partner, etc., with PIQ. And we were just talking about how the landscape is evolving. And I used my favorite analogy, QR codes. And as I was saying it, I was like, oh, Cam's going to love this. But again, it's the similar thing, right? PayPal just knocking down the barriers to entry, making it a more natural process, just reducing that scare factor and just normalizing the whole crypto for payments, crypto for transaction.
Absolutely. Did you get in your famous air quotes as well while you were saying
I was doing that. Are you watching me? Can you see me from where you are? I wasn't going to mention it.
I could just feel it. I don't know. Oh, moving on.
Moving on.
Tron Incorporated has filed a Form S3 shelf registration with the US SEC, enabling it to issue up to $1 billion in mixed securities, including common stock, preferred stock, debt instruments, and warrants. The filing allows flexibility for future capital raises, albeit no specific issuance terms or timelines were disclosed. Interactive Brokers is considering launching a stablecoin to enable 24/7 account funding and crypto transfers for its clients. Founder Thomas Pitfrey noted that the issuance method is still undecided. The firm may instead support third-party stablecoins. Interactive Brokers has offered crypto trading since around 2021 through a partner with Paxos and holds a stake in Zero Hash. Apologies, I'm just taking a sip of water. Plasma, a stablecoin-focused blockchain, has closed its public token sale with $373 million in commitments. The Plasma network now holds $1 billion in stablecoins at launch. I think we're going to be hearing quite a lot more from Plasma going forward.
Oh, watch this space.
Exactly that. Mill City Ventures has announced a $450 million private placement to launch a corporate SUI treasury strategy. I think the theme is at the moment what altcoins are going to be next, and SUI was high on the list. Very, very popular among TradFi investors for some reason. I can't quite work it out as to why this particular name, especially within the gaming ecosystem. It's quite specific, but there we are. A SUI treasury strategy has been announced. The round led by London-based hedge fund Caritage, with matching investment from the SUI Foundation. Other participants include the likes of Big Brain Holdings, Galaxy Digital, and Pantera Capital. So according to India media, Coinbase is in advanced talks to acquire the Indian-based Coin DCX at a valuation below $900 million, which is far lower than its $2.2 billion peak 3 years ago. Sources say Coinbase sees the deal as a long-term bet on the Indian market. The Coin DCX recently suffered a $44 million hack on July 19th. Coinbase declined to comment on the acquisition rumors. When asked about the comment, Coin DCX CEO stated that the company is not seeking a sale and is currently focused on advancing India's crypto ecosystem. So, potential for a rumor there, but the rumor must have started from somewhere. BitMine, which trades with the ticker BMNR, announced a stock buyback plan of up to $1 billion. The company holds over 625,000 Ethereum, 192 BTC, and around $401 million in cash. The chairman says the move supports its long-term ETH accumulation strategy. This comes as the BMNR, that's fun to say, stock price is currently trading down 80% from its July 3rd high of $161.
Eesh.
A massive peak there. JPM, well, they are, of course, the BitMine are the ones that started essentially that ETH treasury strategy, which then triggered all the other altcoin treasury strategies popping up all over the place. But yeah, they are down 80% from their July high. JP Morgan says that Coinbase earned around $300 million from its Circle and USDC ties in Q1 of this year, exceeding Circle's own revenue. The bank estimates that Circle-related businesses could be worth 55 to 60 billion US dollars to Coinbase shareholders. 21 Capital announced that it has received...
Sorry.
Oh, go on.
Just on this with, there's some construction work going on behind me, so I apologise if you can hear that. So regarding this with Circle then, so is Circle kind of evolving to now kind of being not platform is probably the wrong word, but an ecosystem where companies are now making money out of the Circle environment? Therefore, you could argue that Circle kind of becomes integral to other companies' balance sheet, or literally other companies' structures.
So I believe, and the figures are going to be slightly off, but Coinbase own around 50% of Circle, the company.
Right.
So they're going to be benefiting from any sort of revenue that they bring
Right.
in.
Got you.
They're going to have,
Okay. So it's
essentially
not
a
that other.
50% split from that.
Got you. So it's not that companies are kind of almost like Circle's creating its own like sub kind of components, and like we got with Stripe. So there's a whole marketplace, there's a whole industry of companies that are built up to provide solutions for people that use Stripe. Are we likely to see something similar with Circle? Whereas obviously, if Circle grows, are there going to be like industry or companies and startups that kind of adding value to the Circle ecosystem, if that makes any sense? Or am I completely
I
barking
do
up the
think
wrong
you're on the
tree?
right path.
Ah, okay,
Yeah, no, I
I'll
do
take
think
it.
you're on the
I'll
right
take
path
it.
with that idea. So just moving away from that, jumping over to 21 Capital, they announced that it has received an additional 5,800 BTC from the stablecoin issuer Tether ahead of its planned listing, bringing its total holdings to over 43,500 BTC and making it the world's third largest corporate Bitcoin treasury. The average purchase price now sits at around $87,280 per Bitcoin. Nasdaq listed. Oh, this is the one where, if you read the, once this
Yeah.
gets released, if you read the title and you're wondering, what another what a crypto company name, what is this about? You're about to find out. So Nasdaq listed 180 Life Sciences plans a $425 million private placement to allocate ETH as treasury reserve and rebrand as ETHZilla.
Oh God, crypto people, why can't you just make companies with mature adult sounding names? Please, I beg you.
180 Life
Yeah,
Sciences again. I mean, it's a bit of a stretch, but I take it,
but
but rebranding to
because
ETHZilla.
yeah, what are you doing with your life? But I'll be honest, it's nowhere near as
God.
bad as some of the company names we've had in the past.
What's your proposed one?
Uh, what was it? Soapy Tit Wank Capital.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I'm
Now,
still gunning for
now
that.
accepting.
Yeah, I'm now looking for investors. If anyone wants to invest, we'll do some. We're going to run a treasury company. We'll have some Bitcoin in there. We'll have some Ethereum. We'll have some pudgy penguins. PIQ.
Mainly Fartcoin though.
Mainly Fartcoin. Going under the trading name of Soapy Titwank Capital. I'm going to set the bar high. Going to look to raise a couple of bar. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, we'll post your wallet address below. Moving on, continuing the professional manner, eToro announced a 24/5 trading for 100 US stocks and ETFs and plans to launch tokenized US equities as ERC20 tokens, so on the Ethereum network. The company also partnered with CME Group to offer spot-priced futures and secured a $250 million 3-year credit facility for strategic expansion. So there we go. eToro jumping on to the Ethereum network. The SEC officially allows crypto ETFs to create and redeem shares using Bitcoin and Ethereum directly instead of cash. If you're wondering, if you are an altcoin investor, this news is likely music to your ears as it encourages liquidity to stay within the crypto sector. Now, obviously, gold spot ETFs already have this ability to, redeem in physical gold, but you might know more than me, Ryan, but it's not that popular. Obviously, because there's fee structures, there's delivery like complications that actually come into this. So it's much easier when you're doing, spot ETF trades to just settle in cash and redeem in cash. But
Yeah.
now with crypto, go on.
No, you're right. It's horses for courses though, right? It's like some people do demand that physical element. A lot of people, say it's safer. I think people talk about paper silver, paper gold and stuff like that. Yeah. I think it was a stat that used to be bandied around a few years ago. It's like, basically, if you added up all these silver ETF contracts, and like if they then all kind of converted to physical, it's kind of like, it's like 100 times the amount of silver that's ever been mined. I think it's horses for courses, but I do think, for the vast majority of people, they just want ease of settlement, ease of, like cashing out, etc. Like that. And no one wants a physical delivery on, if you're a retail trader, you don't want to worry about settlement of physical delivery, right? So I think that's where ETFs can kind of step in.
Exactly. And there's probably a minimum purchase order for, redemption in physical form. So as well.
Oh, of
So,
course, yeah.
a lot more difficult for the retail investor. But I'm wondering how the uptake on this for crypto will be. As we all know, it's a lot easier to deliver, I'll say quote unquote physical Bitcoin
But
or
then
Ethereum.
I guess if we're talking physical in this sense, then you've got to deal with custodianship, and
Yeah.
where's that getting delivered to? Again, I think that's potentially one of the areas of crypto that still scares many people. So
Hmm.
if you are doing away with that side of stuff, that, the custodianship and whatnot, you're reducing a lot of the security risk as well. I don't know, I think any options are good options. The more flexibility you provide the end user, or the more flexibility you provide your target audience, the traders, it can only be a good thing. And let the market decide what's worthwhile.
Yeah. Very, very good points. Yeah. Thank you very much, Ryan, for your insights there.
You are very
Michael
welcome.
Saylor's, oh yeah, thank you very much. Michael Saylor's strategy buys another 21,000 Bitcoins for $2.4 billion. I thought they were over purchasing when we saw, $70 million come in on 1 week. But no, they're back with a massive bang, with $2.4 billion in purchases for Bitcoin last week. South Korea's central bank creates virtual asset team to boost its crypto oversight. And this one looks like it's just hot off the press as we've been talking. Coinbase partners with Chase to drive crypto adoption. So, yeah, more on that news story to follow, but that's going to be it from me today.
Awesome. Well, Cam, thank you so much for the update. As always, I probably learn more than anyone else. So, I'm happy to be on the show, with you. Listeners, thank you so much for tuning in, especially the huge majority of you that, play this back on the recording, etc. As always, if you don't already follow Cam, if you don't already follow Institutional Fi, if you don't already subscribe to Cam's and Institutional Fi Substack, do all of the above. Thank me later. And whatever you're up to, stay safe, keep it tight, and we'll be back with Cam on Friday. Much love.
See you then.